let's get this started. Don't mind my hair. It has been a hot day. I just put water on myself, my face. It's got to my hair a little bit, but it looks vaguely okay. Hard to tell, but there we go. Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, I am Molly and I do book content here on YouTube. Sorry, don't mind me. Oh, there it is. Ignore me. So today is an extra video mainly because of a certain challenge that's going on, and it's a lot of books. Doesn't have to be, and I'll explain that, but there's a 3-month challenge going on that I want to take part in. So this is like an extra pile of possibilities video, and I want to preface this pile of possibilities. It could be subject to change. So what this is the Passport to Summer Reading Challenge that Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day is hosting, and this is taking place from June the 1st to the August the 31st. So it's 3 months, you know, because it's summer, the clues in the title. But yes, I want to join in. It seems really fun. It reminds me of my childhood when my local libraries would do summer reading challenges for kids. I assume they still do, but obviously it's for kids, so sadly I can't get involved, but that's okay. Chantel's doing one, so I can get involved in that one, and that's for all ages, so I'm not complaining. I've got the sun coming in on me. It's the evening, so if I look weird or not nice, it's partly because of the sun. There might be other reasons, but the sun is doing the sun thing. Kind of going well with the challenge, to be honest. We're going through a bit of a heat wave at the moment. I say heat wave. We're only 2 days into it, okay? Only 3 days into it, sorry. It's Sunday today, so happy Sunday. As I'm filming this. So yeah, that's why the sun is really bright, because not only is it the evening and I get the sun in the evening, it's also been very hot for us. Now, I will say we are England, so our hot weather is nothing like a lot of other countries, okay? But also for me, who doesn't really like the heat, although I do kind of, I just hate how it makes me feel. It's too hot. So yeah, it's very apt for this summer reading challenge video anyway, so that's good. So yes, Chantel is doing it for 3 months. She's done 12 prompts, and we can double up, which is great. There is a giveaway happening, and she said whilst you can double up, you can't use the same book more than once. So you can only do, I think she said, you'll have to watch her video, but I think she said 1 book counts for 1 entry or something like that. So obviously if you use 1 book for 2 prompts, you can't use that book twice, basically. So, which is fine. I'm not too fussed about the giveaway. I mean, it's always fun to win a giveaway, of course, but I don't really do these for that, basically. So either way. Yeah, so basically some of these prompts I could double up with the books I've got. And like I said, it is subject to change because it's 3 monthly. I might change my mind. I might find other books that fit, other prompts for other readathons, or even slightly more importantly, yearly challenges. So if I find a book for a yearly challenge but also fits for the summer reading challenge that Chantel is doing, I could possibly end up changing the book that I picked. So it could be subject to change. Obviously with each wrap up, I will try and remember to talk about what I have completed so far. So yes, so whilst I have my pile of possibilities of 12 books, half of them are hardback and half of them are paperback, unintentional, it's just the way it's gone. It could be subject to change. I might end up changing the books that I have picked. So yes, I'm going to just get straight into it, because why not? I'm not going in any particular order, and like I said, the books are subject to change. So I'm going to take a drink, and then we will talk about the fonts and what books I picked. So the first prompt that I've written down, because they're not in any particular order, is country. And I can't remember what Chantal said for country, but because it's summer, I'm going with the, you know, traveling, going to another country, sort of holiday sort of country. It's like, you know, going to different countries sort of thing. And oh, right on the top of my pile, that is very good. So the book that I picked for this is also a book that I picked with something else in mind, a different readathon, which I might not end up picking that prompt for that readathon, but just in case I do, this will also fit for that. And that is the Juliet Code by Pepper Basham. This is Christian historical mystery. This is book 3 in the Freddie and Grace mystery series. I have been meaning to read this for absolutely ages. I finally got the book reasonably recently. I've hauled this reasonably-ish recently. So I would like to get to this because I know Teresa is waiting for me to buddy read the third book, the Highland Heist by Pepper Basham. Sorry, the fourth book with her. So I need to get on with it because she has been waiting for an incredibly long time, and I apologise, Teresa. So yeah, I'm hoping to read this sometime in the next 3 months. It might even be this coming month in June. Because spoiler alert, there is a prompt for readathon that I am taking part in as a, you know, as a reader, not as a host, where there's a character who has red hair, and whilst you can't quite tell on the cover, those of you who do know the series, the main character Grace is ginger. She has red hair. So I might count this for that prompt if I end up picking that prompt. I'm not sure if I will yet, because I've not really had a proper look yet, but I will. And if I do, this will be the book I pick. Although technically there is another book I could also pick for that, but this is my main one for the red hair. Okay, the next one is Journey, and again, that's kind of like travelling. And so again, there's more than one book I could pick for that, because there's also a book that I am interested in and might swap out for this prompt if I decide to. But the book that I have picked in the end as a possibility is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Those of you who've been watching regularly know I've been putting this on my TBR for a while because I really want to get to it, and I still haven't. And obviously I've used this for journey prompt for a few different readathons and challenges. So I would like to try and get to this in the summer for the prompt, but if not, I want to get to this at some point anyway. But yeah, Christian allegory, I don't know how much of that is in The Hobbit, but certainly in the Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit, I mean, it's famous. Everyone has at least heard of it, even if you've never read it, or at the very least you might watch the films. So yeah, I would like to try and get to this in the next 3 months. We shall see. The next prompt is flowers, and again, I had a few different ones I could have picked, including books that I think I actually have on my TBR as well, but I'm kind of scared about the one I've picked, and that's because it is a gigantic book. I don't know how many pages it is. Slightly terrified about looking. Yeah, it's 632 pages, so it's a chunker. And the fact that it's hardback does not help the chunkiness. And that is the book Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This is a fantasy, secular, probably romantasy, and it's first book in the series or duology. I'm not sure how many books. I know there's at least 2. I didn't know that when I bought this book, but that's fine. Because it's secular and it's romantasy, I don't know about content. I also don't know whether it's young adult or adult. It kind of sounds like young adult to me from the blurb, or maybe even new adult, maybe. I don't think it's full-blown adult, so hopefully, in theory, it might be okay. Specifically for sexual content, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. So obviously, like with the whole subject to change, I might pick out a different book for any of the prompts I talk about. I might also end up DNFing books such as this one, but I don't know yet. I would like to try it because it does sound good. And look at that cover. I mean, the covers are incredible. So yeah, and as you can see, there's a decent amount of flowers. So there's that one. I have done one book for each prompt for these, but like I said, you can double up. So I may end up doubling up on some books if they fit other prompts, either from this collection or again, if I swap anything out. Might do it for those if they also fit different prompts. We will see. Again. Okay, the next prompt that I've written down is home. And for that one, I have picked home as in my home country. And that is the UK, England, specifically. And I might have more than one book for this, but I might not. Also, I am using this for something else that will be occurring in the middle of these couple of months in July, and those of you who know about July will probably know exactly what I'm talking about, even before talking about the book. But, again, could be subject to change, but I was hoping to read this in July, so I might do that. And that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. If you've been watching for a while, I have technically read this already. I listened to it on audio. I'm not sure how long ago, but a while ago. Sometime last year or this year. I think it was last year though. And yes, I enjoyed it, but because it was audio and because of the way classics are written, I did struggle with not understanding, but hearing everything. I got the gist of it. Before reading it, I had the gist of it because of, adaptations, on film and TV. I do basically know what happens, but I've never actually read it. And when I listened to it, I was not underwhelmed, but because I didn't really get it because of my hearing, I'm hard of hearing, and I was listening to it, I was just missing out on a lot of the writing. And obviously a lot of people love Jane Austen's writing, so I would like to give it another chance and give her another chance. So I decided to read it physically. It took me a while to find a book that I liked in terms of cover, but I really like this one. This is the Wordsworth Classics edition. This is a bit of a spoiler because I bought this recently-ish, and I haven't hauled it yet. There's a couple of books on here that I have hauled and not done a video of yet. I am going to be doing one in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is a little bit of spoiler. Wordsworth Classics. It's a lovely cover. So yeah, I'm hoping to read that in July. The next prompt is water, and obviously, like most of these prompts, they're pretty open to what you want to do for that. And again, I think I have 1 or 2 books that could count for water, but I decided to go for this one because I've been wanting to read it for a while, and I got it recently, so I would like to read it. And that is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I know she's a pretty popular thriller author. Again, secular. Obviously, we all know Jane Austen is a classic. So yeah, again, because it's secular and thriller, I don't know about content. Some people I watch have read this and have enjoyed it and haven't said anything that I remember about content. So hopefully it should be reasonably okay. I do quite like the version I've got because it's got pretty, I don't know how well you can see that in this light. Oh, there we go. It's kind of got like starry night sort of sprayed edges to kind of go with the nighttime scene on the front, so that's cool. So yeah, I'd like to read that at some point. The next one is Wildlife, and this one was a little bit harder to do because a lot of it is not necessarily on the cover, so again, it could be subject to change, but I mean, that could be the case for all of these books. But because of the blurb, I thought this might have the best chance at having some form of wildlife in it, and I decided to pick Fable by Adrienne Young. This is YA, as it says there, YA, and it's pirates. So obviously I'm expecting there to be, you know, sea travel. So again, that's where the water would come in with the other prompt. And obviously, as you can see by the cover, we've got the red hair. Although actually that's not for this, so ignore me. Yes, what am I trying to say? I'm hoping that there's some sort of sea life, wildlife sort of stuff in this. I don't actually know. I kind of struggled with that. I guess you could possibly count Jane Austen for wildlife because of the peacock on the cover. But I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So I've just kind of done what I can. And like I said, if I find something else that fits, that I know for definite has wildlife, I might do that. I did consider possibly the next Narnia book, because obviously I know certainly in the first book there is wildlife in there and talking animals. So like the second one will probably have a bit of that as well, but I don't know. So let me know, because I might choose that instead. Does book 2 in the Narnia series have any wildlife in it? I can't remember which one that is. Is the horse and its boy? I can't remember. Those of you who know your Narnia, you'll know which one I mean for book 2. After The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. If that has wildlife in it, let me know. I might use that as a possible option instead. But yeah, Fable is what I went for now. The next prompt is trees, and I decided to go with on the cover. And to be honest, I probably have a couple of options for that. Maybe not in this pile of books that I've just shown you, but certainly in general, there'll be some with trees. But I decided to go with this one because it is one I've been wanting to read for a while. I'd like to give it a try. So yeah. I decided to go with this book, The Darkling Bride by Laura Anderson. This is, I don't know if it's thriller, but it's a review of it says it's a combination of Victorian Gothic, mystery and romance. Ooh, with an unforgettable library. Yes, I remember why I was interested in this now. So yeah, it sounded interesting when I asked for it, because I got my uncle got this one for me. But I think it's dual timeline, Gothic, sort of mystery sort of book. It sounded really interesting. Again, it's secular, so I don't know about content, especially if there is some sort of like a mystery thrillery aspect, and obviously it mentioned romance, and obviously I don't know what content will be like, but that's why I want to read it, partly because I'm interested, and also partly so then I know whether I want to keep it or whether I DNF it, all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm interested to try this. Yeah, it sounds good. The next one is a book that has a 5-word title, and again I have a few of those, but the one I wanted to get to is one that I have picked specifically for June, because this is a June read that I haven't read yet, and that is As Sure as the Dawn by Francine Rivers. This is book 3 in the Mark of the Lion trilogy, and this is Christian historical fiction. This is the next book for June in Oceana's Francine Rivers read along. I have been struggling to read any of the books for this read along, unfortunately, including my rereads of the first 2 books in this series. I have not got to those, which is sad, because especially seeing Kate Tree and Oceana do spoilery and also technically non-spoilery for Oceana, because she did it in 2 parts in one video, vlogs on the books as they were reading them, just made me want to read them even more. But sadly, they are so big. I mean, look how big that is. They're just so big. I couldn't do it, unfortunately, and I'm sad about that. But I did enjoy their vlogs on them. It made me remember why I love this series. But I haven't read book 3 yet, so I would like to do that. So there we go, 5-word title. The next prompt is books, and obviously I have a few books that are book related. Either they have them on the cover, but they are to do with the book. itself. So yeah, I decided to go with this one. I didn't realise this is also a book one. Again, I didn't realise when I picked it up. Well, I say picked it up. I bought it. Yeah. So again, this is a bit of a spoiler for my book haul that's coming up in a few weeks. And I picked What If We Met in a Bookstore by Callie McClay. This is book one in the Breezewood chapters. I don't know what series is about. I don't know whether it's connected or interconnected, or I don't know what. I don't know anything about the series as a whole. But either way, it's book one apparently. And this is, I don't know if it's Christian romance, but apparently I think the author is Christian. So yeah, I don't know if there'll be any faith content in the book, but it should certainly at the very least be clean. So that's good. This will be a romance, and I assume it's contemporary. It certainly sounds like it anyway. So yeah, I don't know whether there's anything else going on, because it sounds like there might be. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, books has it in the title, and there's also books on the cover there, and on the back as well. Not that you can see very well, but there is. So yeah, it sounded interesting. Ooh, it's nice big writing. Not that that matters too much for me, but it always makes me feel like it's a smaller read. But yeah, sounds good. Hopefully I'll enjoy it, and hopefully I'll get to it in these next 3 months. And apparently I am taking my hair with my books. Maybe if I do it like that. Right. Where are we? Oh yes, okay. So the next prompt is sun, and I had a few options for these, but I decided to go with this one, which actually I could have also used for another prompt. So again, I could double up with this one. So yeah, we'll just have to see. But for sun, I picked this book, which is Never by Jessa Hastings. This is a Peter Pan retelling. I don't know if it's historical. Right, okay. It might be slightly historical, because it sounds like the main character, her grandma was Wendy from the original Peter Pan. So judging by the dates, I would probably assume it's technically historical, but like our modern contemporary historical. But I could be wrong. It doesn't actually say any dates. But yeah, it sounded interesting. I really like the cover. This could count for like a summary cover as well, but I went for sun because I don't really have that many books with sun on the cover. And whilst you don't really see, you sort of see the sun there, but you might also say it's the moon, so it's up to you, but it's quite a sunny sort of sunset cover, so I'm counting it. But yes, now I don't know about content for this one. It's secular. Anyone who's heard of Jessa Hastings knows she wrote the Magnolia Park series, which is probably not one I would read, so especially because of content. So I don't know what this one will be like, but it sounds like it's young adult, because the main character is 17. And the topic, it has what sounds like what is probably a love triangle. So we'll have to see about content in terms of the sexual content, but otherwise it means I get to try it and see, and we'll find out. Okay, the next prompt is summer, and again, obviously I could use never for that, because it's quite a summery looking cover, really, isn't it? So I could always double up on that. It's quite summery. But the one I did pick for now is called The Thorns Remained by, and I'm going to butcher her first name. Is it Jar Harwood? It's JJA. You're not going to see it very well because it's quite a shiny one, but it's either Jar or Ya. I'm not sure. I apologise. But the author called Harwood. This is a historical fantasy. I don't know if it's magical realism or just historical fantasy, because it's set in 1919 and it has fairies in it. So I don't know about content again because it's secular, but I think, judging from what it says on the back, it doesn't say any ages, but I'm getting the impression that it's probably young adult, but I'm not sure. But it sounded interesting, and the cover is giving me summer vibes just because of how luscious. So I'm trying to do it where you can actually see it. It's quite a luscious green looking cover, and that's giving me summer vibes for that. Also has flowers on the cover, so I could use it for that as well. So yeah, it's just giving me summer vibes. I don't know if it is set in the summer, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, it sounds interesting. It sounds very fairy tale like, as well as the whole fairy thing. So yeah, it sounds good, and I want to try it. Yeah, and they've all fallen. Okay, and then the last prompt is wings, and this is one that I'm most unsure about, and that's partly why I put it on here, because I want to read it and see if I want to keep it. Chances are I probably won't, just from what I've heard, but yeah, I like to give it a try. I like to give them a try before getting rid of them, unless it's really obvious and like, yeah, you'll probably know what I mean when I show it you. So I have put Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I went wings as in dragon wings, and also it's in the title too, although that wasn't what I was going for. I do have other books that would also fit the prompt for wings of all sorts of animals, like bird type animals or dragons. So I do have other options if I decide to switch this one out, which is possible, because again, this is quite a chunker. And again, because it's fantasy and romance, it's romantasy, and it is, the series is known to have, I think, some spice. I don't know how much though, and it might vary from each book. So I'm not sure about this one. This is why I kind of put it on here, because I would like to read it, get it out of the way and figure out what's going on with that. So then I can decide that I'll probably not keep it. So yes, I do have the whole trilogy. Yeah. So yeah, I want to give this a try, figure out what's going on. It has dragons in it, as I'm sure you can tell by the cover. Yeah, it is YA, kind of. Like, the main character's 20, so, like, I'm kind of not expecting it to be particularly spicy, at the very least, this first one. Now, the other two, however, I don't know, but, yeah, yeah, we'll have to see about that, but, yeah. But, you know, like I said about all of these books, it could be subject to change. I could end up deciding to completely get rid of all of the TBR and do something else entirely, like pick like a different book for all of the prompts. Who knows? But these are the books that I have put as my pile of possibilities for now, and we will see what I end up doing for the next 3 months for this summer reading challenge. I'm excited to give it a try. There are definitely books on here that I would like to read. So, you know, hopefully. But yeah, that's basically it, because what I'm going to do is, for my normal TBRs, I'll do my normal TBR video. Obviously there may be repeats depending on the month and the book. And obviously the prompts that I'm doing, so you may see some repeats, certainly the odd one anyway, but we will see what happens. I will decide that when I get there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Are you doing Chantel's Summer Reading Challenge? If you are, have you already picked out the books you want to read, or are you just going to do it ad hoc and just do it whenever you feel like it, sort of thing? Let me know. Let me know if if you've read any of these books. Obviously, the classics and the Christian fiction, I know at least some of you will have read them. Obviously, the secular ones, who knows? But if you have read any of the ones I've mentioned, let me know what you think of them. Or if you're planning to read any of them at some point. It doesn't have to be for this challenge or the summer or anything like that, just in general. You know, if you've been thinking about trying that book out, let me know. And obviously if you have read them. So yes, I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in my TBR video. Love you. God bless. Bye.